Golfers, are you looking to get a lot more control over your distances when you're hitting a pitch shot? If yes, then in this video I'm going to show you a really easy system that you can implement today and get your pitch shot game to the next level. Being a great pitcher of the golf ball is going to require you to do a really good distance control. So it's really important to control how far the ball is going to carry and where it's going to carry. Now for this we are going to use a system, and with that system we can use all the wedges we have in our bag. So I have a 60 degree, a 54, 52 and a pitching wedge. Now depending on the flag position we're going to select one of those clubs and we're going to then select the part of the system that we need to hit that distance. But for now, to show you the system, I'm just going to use a 60 degree. And now what we're gonna need first is going to be the following. I'm just gonna take the balls away so you can actually see ball position as well. So I'm gonna place the ball in the middle of the stance. That is gonna guarantee that the ball has like a medium to high trajectory every time. So trajectory is gonna be a part of this as well. For now, you are going to need to think about the backswing a bit differently. So you can think about it in this way. Basically we have a hip height distance, then a first rib height, and then the shoulder height. So basically I want to get with the hands at that height depending of the distance I want to hit. So let's say a hip high to hip high is going to look like this. So the hands are gonna get to my hip level, and then in the follow through is going to stop at the hip height as well. Now this is going to guarantee that I don't put extra speed during the swing, and it's going to give me a consistent distance over and over again. That would be the first position I want you to hit. So hip to hip. Now the next one is just basically where your first rib is. That would be kind of the second one. So I'm going to go with the hands just in line with my ribs here, and then the club is going to start actually to hinge a little bit. I don't want you to focus too much on the hinging, but just let the club freely hinge, because in this way we're going to have again a bit more consistent backswing. So I'm just going to feel rib height with some wrist hinge, and now from here I'm going to accelerate to the other side, same distance in the follow through. If you can make actually the follow through a bit longer, so you know that we accelerate good through the golf ball. And the last position I want you to hit is basically going to be shoulder height to shoulder height. Full acceleration, so smooth backswing to here, and now from here I'm going to accelerate to the other side. Now in this way we get three distances that are going to be really consistent. So for myself, with a 60 degree, I know that a hip to hip high is gonna fly about 40 meters. Then going to rib, that's gonna give me about 60 meters. And going shoulder to shoulder, that's gonna give me 70 meters. And this, it's always happening. Now, if you try to hit it a bit harder, it might go a bit longer, but most of the time you're gonna have the same swing speed throughout the swing. So basically I'm going to keep the club head moving at the same speed through all these three swings. I'm just basically changing the length of the backswing, and that is going to guarantee that the ball, it's actually going to go a bit longer depending on the swing you're using, and it's always going to land more or less in the same distance. I have a 50 meter, and that is going to require me to hit a 60 degree lob wedge with just a little bit more than hip, and in this way I know that the ball is actually going to land at 50 meters, so it's going to run fairly close. Let's see how actually good we can do this shot. So let's align 50 meters carry. So I'm going to make a really smooth backswing to be able to control the distance I'm going to hit, and then I'm just going to accelerate through the ball. So overall, this is going to be the system that I want you to use to hit like really good distances. Now, there's a question about using the other wedges. So you see that if you're going to use the same distances in the backswing, if you use a different club, it's going to give you a different distances, but some of them are going to be really close to each other. So for example, rib height to rib height with a 60 degree goes like 60 meters. Now if I go just hip to hip with a 54, it's going to give me a bit lower ball flight, but it's going to give me actually the same distance. So I'm going to use this shot when the flag is in the back of the green, because if I hit it a bit shorter, the ball is going to roll a bit towards the flag. If the flag is actually in the front, then I need a higher shot, which is going to stop quicker, and in this way I'm going to choose actually the 60 degree. So let me show you the same shot with a 54 to the same flag, so basically 50 meters again. And now I'm just going to go hip height to hip height, and that is going to guarantee that the ball basically is going to land and be really close to the flag with a lower ball flight. Now while filming this video, I just had an idea and something came out in my mind that I see a lot of players when it's wind into, so it's quite strong, they try to hit a 60 degree really high, nice to land next to the flag, but because of the wind the ball is going to be always short. So what you're going to have to do, take a pitching wedge and actually you're going to just swing for a 50-meter shot. I would go hip to hip height, because the wind is actually going to keep it from going too far. And you don't have to accelerate too hard through it, because the ball is actually going to come really low. It's going to land on the green and it might release just a little bit towards your flag. So check this shot, basically the same like with the other clubs. So just hip to hip height, easy shot. By using this system, it's going to enable you to hit some really close pitch shots to the hole, as I just hit here. And also one more key thing that you have to consider when you're pitching is the wind and the flag position. And then you can actually select the club that is going to give you the biggest chance to put the ball close to the hole. Now, if you found this video useful, then let me know in the comment box below. Subscribe to the channel and I'll see you next week at the Solution Golf.